that's it for cartoon stuff. Now, moving on to the newly, well, not really announced, but like we haven't gotten any new figures physically in hand yet, so I guess it's still fresh. Regardless, Mirage, Ryan, they are going back to Mirage, and they are starting things off with the Fugitoid. Now, we saw him a while back, a tease of him, and on the back of the card thing that they released in December, and yeah, now we have him in the flesh. Well, in the you know, metal, I guess, the bendy metal, and yeah, I am super excited about this. This is fantastic. Like I am.
He looks as good as he did. We got some like more like kind of like you know, artful shots at first of him, and then we got a preview on the kind of the you know, collector's card kind of images like, you know, of the line. We got like a one shot of him, but here we definitely get a little bit more like pro photo angles of him in real space, like in situ,
right,
if you will. Just knocking it out of the park as far as like the God,
that paint,
the paint, the non-metallic metal, like idea.
It
so
takes
that black line style to like a whole nother level, and if in hand he's painted close to where this is, that is just ridiculously good.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. And even Trevor was saying that he was like really taken aback by like, and forgive me, I forget who the actual painter was that did this, but it's a technique that is just perfect for this figure. And so yeah, they've confirmed a couple of things. So first of all, he's going to be released very soon. He's going to have bendy arms and legs, and he's going to come with some accessories. I think I got a shot of one of them. He's got like a little iPad thing. Forgive me if I can't remember what that was, but then he's got a gun.
Well, it's a I believe it's a Triceraton.
Oh, the Triceraton thing, because the triangle. Yeah.
Because everything's a triangle. That blaster is a Triceraton blaster.
It is.
It's triangular as well.
Right. And so he's coming with that,
which
and
is
he's
in keeping with the adventures he got up to in the comics.
Absolutely, yeah, he was very much tied to them, and then he's also coming with, and I forget what this was actually called, but this gauntlet that Donatello is seen here with is it was from his one shot where he met Jack Kirby essentially. And he's got this gauntlet.
It's
thing.
like it's
was it gravity?
It's the gauntlet that Jack Kirby. Yeah, it's a gravity thing. That Jack Kirby gives him to help fight off like the all the various villains or the people that it's so much to get into.
It is
the people in the universe that Jack Kirby, where all of his drawings with his magic pencil went to.
Right.
So like the weird purgatory where all of like Jack Kirby's doodles went to like reign and destroy this other fictional normal medieval village, and he's got to take care of that because all of Jack Kirby's creations are in there, so he draws him a little arm cannon, and that looks so good.
Right,
like it looks really good.
And so that's cool. And on top of this, they announced, and I took screenshots, but I don't have them. I can't, they're on my other computer. I forgot to bring them over, but they said that Kevin Eastman himself is going to be doing the box art for these Mirage figures, and that's really exciting. And they showed them in the Fwoosh interview, so you can check that out on YouTube. And it looked really neat, very cool. And yeah, you might be one. You might want to be one of those people that buy one to open and one to keep, in the box, because it just looks too good. And so he is coming out pretty soon. And then they moved on to the Utroms. Now, this is definite like hardcore Mirage. So you
gotta remember that like, go ahead.
No. I was just stalling for you to actually say something.
I was letting you.
I know.
So Utroms is one of those things where I love them so much in Mirage, because they're not evil.
Yeah, no.
Like it's one of the first real like head scratchers you see when you start going through this journey where you're doing things chronologically, where you're like, why would they make like Krang a Utrom in the show? And he's like an evil warlord, genocidal maniac. Because the whole thing about Utroms is that when you first see them, you're like, okay, that's an actual scary villain guy. They're these little brain-looking squid boys who look just like that. It's so comic accurate that it's ridiculous. Like they look like they had jagged teeth and like a bunch of these little, like, instead of 2 little arms like Krang has, they have all these little like squid brainy legs, and they're not evil, and they are from the golden age of Mirage. Like they created the mutagen that transformed the turtles. They have the TCRI building story is so cool. How like basically
absolutely.
When they crash landed on Earth, they all got like day jobs, and they basically just lived like in the sewer until they could afford to buy a building, pooling all their resources. Like it's so cool, and it's so great to see them here, especially with some of the other stuff going on, the other accessories that make these really great.
Yeah. Yeah, so
that's so good.
Yeah, so the Utrom, you get the brain part, but you also get the body, the android body, and it comes with a destroyed face, like a battle damaged face. It's going to be coming with a blaster, and you can remove the Utrom from the torso or the stomach of the body, and it's got good. Looks like it crawled out of the pages. It's so good, and so I am very excited about that. Let's see. Then they posted one image here. Let me get ready for it. They posted one image of this, Ryan, and I can't remember. Yeah, you're right. I do. I'm playing. Casey Jones. Yeah. Gonna definitely be coming. And if you are just an animated series person and you didn't read the books, Casey is a drastically different character, from the animated series.
Mirage. Absolutely.
In Mirage. And not only that, he's a lot more integral to the story. So as a whole, like and more so than the cartoon ever alluded to, because I think he only appeared in 2 or 3 episodes in the cartoon.
That needs to be 87. A segment on our monthly bonus show where you and I debate the worth of 87 animated series cases. I feel like that could get like that. That we go to mad every time on that.
Oh, it could.
But yeah, like I mean, Casey's the 5th turtle. Like in Mirage continuity, we just talked about Zach earlier. Word up. Casey appears in Raphael Micro #1. It's the first, not the first micro, but it's getting there. Yeah. And that's all the way back in 85. I mean, like I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'll tell you this, Neca. I know that this stuff's already been made, so like you can't really change it. But if you could go into a time machine, I would say put out the American flag mask.
Oh,
coward.
Yeah, definitely. Once they get to, if they can do the image stuff, oh my goodness.
Because technically, I know we're on Mirage Story, but Body Count was made under Mirage.
That's true.
Issue 1 was published by Mirage. And all that art and all those concepts, I don't know how legally who published what, but I mean, or who, if they have access to it.
Yeah.
But that American flag mask was part of that story under Mirage,
right?
Before it went to Image. So,
and if they don't, I might have to get you to custom make him, and then you can just open up a side hustle that way doing that. But yeah, they teased him. He's going to come with 2 heads, 1 masked, 1 unmasked, and that's really all they really showed was this right here. But you mentioned going back in a time machine, Ryan, and
really
unfortunately,
fast, just before you hop into that, chat's worried about their money.
Chat's worried about their money. Oh, as they should be. They're
like. I think chat. I think everybody watching this now or live or in the future is like doing that thing, where you put your hand back and you just touch the edge of your wallet to make sure it's still in your pocket.
That it hadn't burned a hole.
Wallet check.
Yeah.
Everybody right now, like watching this video, is probably just everyone's all their hands sneaking down there and they're just like, wallet. Yep. It's still there.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because but that's a concern for chat.
It is. Understandably so. Well, speaking, you mentioned a time machine earlier, and unfortunately, we here at Turtle Soup, we haven't
going a time machine.
We don't have the funds to purchase one yet, but the Turtles actually know somebody who does have access to time machine abilities, to say the least, and that person is Renee. And this was one of the first things they actually released like images of before the interviews came out, and I was she's probably one of the last figures I would have thought would have been like one of the first in the line. You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely. She's seen here in kind of I want to believe a bit of a mid appearance time for her. She had like a longer kind of cloak, and it was more like over her, I want to believe, like in her literal first appearance.
Right.
But she appeared in other comics. It depends on when you pick her up, because when she appears in Mirage, she is a teenage apprentice to one Lord Simultaneous.
Right.
And she has on her the digital cosmic quartz that allows her to time travel.
Yes.
But she's a teenager and she's bored. So she takes the scepter of time for a little walk and winds up severely impacting the Turtles, getting them into the Cerebus crossover, which is one of the better like Mirage Golden Era storylines. And then but she does appear later more mature, and that's the look I'm seeing from this. And this is just my interpretation. This Renee, I'm seeing her as she appeared later, a little more grown up and coming to the Turtles' aid again later in Mirage, which I think is cool. I think that's a cool angle to take on it.
Oh, definitely.
Because in this form, she's in charge of her of her powers.
Right.
Like the first time, she's a little bit obnoxious, a little bit of a brat, and that's funny and cool. But here, she's like inherited the throne. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the
like she's
the look of,
graduated.
Power. Yeah, the look of power, especially in the face sculpt and in her bearing, it reminds me more of her later appearances.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this is just too much. Like I love it. I know that somebody was questioning her color of her outfit. That I think that they were saying they couldn't place it. And I think someone in our Facebook group found an image that it might have been a reprint or something. But I thought
it was in color.
Yeah, right. And so, I'm not entirely sure, but as far as the costume, the aesthetics, like the clocks and everything like that, that's first appearance. Like it just, yeah, it's definitely there. Now she's coming with a wired cape, like a soft goods wired cape, which means it's bendy, so you can pose it. Also a time scepter, 2 heads, one helmeted and one unhelmeted, and Lord Simultaneous floating head, and that's pretty awesome. Yeah, that is incredibly important to the whole thing. Absolutely,
in my opinion. So what I'll say here, I'm gonna interject on what I think about the sculpt real fast.
Okay,
honestly, can you scroll back to the unhelmeted head, just the normal hair? I love that look. I know that's not like necessarily like iconically like how she's seen, because she's seen with the helmet, but I love the unhelmeted head. Hair's hard, and that hair looks good to me. Also, I'm just gonna put it here. I really enjoy the body type she has, because in the comic, she was definitely more like full figured. Like she, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like she was like a kind of like an X cup situation,
right?
Like her proportions were like totally unrealistic, and I really love. Now, part of her was the like revealing scoop kind of thing going on the chest. That's just part of the design,
right?
But like I like the fact that she does feel like more full figured and more like normal, like she appears in the comic, and I like that it comes through in the figure.
Oh,
She's
absolutely.
Not just like an X cup situation, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. And so I think again, Neca just knocked it out of the park. Like this is fantastic.
That Lord Simultaneous looks so mad.
He does.
And that's how mad he was in Mirage, guys. That's how mad he was. He was so damn mad. He was like, why do you have the digital cosmic quartz? And she's like, I am just actually, whoops, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
It's really great.
And their stories are great. Like, go back and find her stories, because her stories with the Turtles are always fun. And I believe she appears in other stuff, but it's, again, if you're just seeing the news here on our show, we do everything chronologically, and I think currently we're in 96. So, but everything we've seen so far, she's fantastic. And I always get excited.
Oh, absolutely.
When I see that, that Renee's showing up. So, but speaking of like where we were at in the journey, and like, how we don't know about a lot of the current stuff, like we're not as up to breast, as we say on the show, with a lot of current Turtles publications and things like that. One thing that is almost hard to like ignore for a while was IDW's The Last Ronin storyline. And they started putting out this storyline I believe it was a year or two ago, I think. And yeah, it was just everywhere. And well, now Neca is putting out, if I'm not mistaken, this is their first IDW figure. If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat
for sure, but like,
but
I mean,
I could be
I
blanking, but if I'm not mistaken, this is their first IDW figure, and this is fantastic. Like, this is so cool, and I've read a little bit of it because we try to keep a lot of stuff for whenever we get to it in the journey on the show. But what I read, I loved, and it's basically, you know, just like this. It's like a Days of Future Past version of the Turtles, essentially. Like, it's a dystopian future story. And this figure looks just like how it's drawn on the pages. And the fact that NECA can do this to this much detail is beyond belief, in my opinion.
No, it's pretty great.
So, yeah. So, let's see here.
I love the way he looks.
Yeah, he looks fantastic. And he's going to come with a ton of accessories. All kinds of stuff. Tonfas, nunchucks, asai, throwing stars, different hands, different head, you know, bow staff, katana, all that stuff, sheath, just the kit and caboodle, everything you need to be the Last Ronin. And he looks so freaking cool. Well, again, this, you know, is from IDW, from the minds of Kevin, Peter, and Tom Waltz. And yeah, they mentioned in the interview working with Kevin and IDW as a new partnership. That's actually what they said. So I'm thinking that we're going to start seeing some of that. So if you were looking at your wallet before, you definitely are now. Yeah, and they said that there might be one or two more Ronin figures in regards to a separate character that they would be making. And that was that as far as he goes. But now they also had a different version, which is a shirtless version. And I haven't read enough of the story to know why this is necessarily pertinent, but nevertheless, I mean, shirtless figure, shirtless turtle, you know, we all need it on our shelves. But yeah, he just looks great. And this is
hero in some half clothes.
And these are going to be in specialty shops. So, you know, like your comic shops and different things like that. So that is the Last Ronin. Now, I don't have any pictures of this, but just to mention it, Playmates is also going to be issuing their own version of the Last Ronin. And you can get it, I think, in a regular colorized version. And then they have a black and white version as well that they're going to be releasing in their own style. So yeah, that's that. And then now I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is, oh no, we got a couple more things. Trying to get through them. Yeah, this is probably the thing that I'm mostly excited for, Ryan. And I think you'll share my excitement with this. NECA has officially started their Archie series of figures.
Here we go, boys.
Yeah, this
okay. You know me, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, like, you're the collector. I play around. I got a couple. I got one in the mail one day. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag loot crate. Like, what the hell, bro? But anyway, you know, I'm not the big collector. You know what I'm saying? And you are.
Right.
That's all suffice to say. That I know I've been like, I don't know about that. I might have it. Like, but seriously, Archie is gonna get this money. I don't know how it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because you know we love that comic series.
Oh,
big fans on the show. And if you go back and check out our episodes on those are podcast only, so or audio only. You might have to go over to Apple Music or whatever to check those out. But if you go back to those reviews, that wound up being like one of our favorite comic series or anything we've done on this journey.
Absolutely.
And the fact that like we're opening up here with these Archies
it's exciting. It's exciting.
Know, man. I'm excited. Like, and so you get Slash.
You get Slash. So Slash is going to come with. Well, real quick, backing up. Archie is going to be in specialty stores as well, and Kitch Mitroni, Kin Mitroni. I was saying Kitch Mitroni. Kin Mitroni is going to be doing the box art, and they should be out. Slash at least should be out before the end of the year. Multiple hands, crooked sword blade, the vintage weapon, bladed weapon with the hook thing. I think, let me see, the one right there on the bottom right. That thing, that's what he's coming with. And yeah, he looks mad as hell and so good. Great. Now,
he's so great, and he really is a nice stand-in for your animated series Slash as well. Like I feel like he, I'm
yeah,
so excited.
yeah,
That's too good.
I like the animated series Slash, but this one is more like what this is like a combination of both of them essentially. The Playmates version and the animated series version. That's kind of the middle ground.
They got his pupilless eyes right.
Yeah,
how he always has a little of that like Dwayne the Rock Johnson like little
yeah,
like going on there. He's got
right.
some of that kind of always kicking. And the thing about him he's often shown this way, but I feel like in Archie it really comes through. He is broken.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Slash is broken.
Yeah.
I love his treatment in IDW. I love and normally he is kind of broken, but in the animated series, it's like, well, everyone's kind of weird. It's funny, right?
Yeah.
But like you see an animated series that or in Archie, you see that he's broken and he looks broken there. It looks like just in the sculpt. I love it in the paint app. It feels like you're not going to reason with this guy. Like, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. To your point, it's like Archie, when you say he's broken, there's a lot more like nuance to it. The animated series saw that and they were like, oh, he's slow. Okay. And they kind of, and it's also the 90s. So like they're running with a little bit more of that. And it's a little like, it's very different. And this version
in
is
Archie,
just,
you get into his backstory and realize like why he is like he is.
Oh, and
he has a pathos in
yes,
Archie, which is really good
and integral to some of the major events that happen in Archie. So go read Archie. It's amazing. Well, speaking of disparages or differences with the animated series and Archie and other iterations of the character, Ray Fillet Man Ray is seen here now that NECA is going to be making, and this is fantastic because the animated series version of Man Ray is not good. It is just garbage, essentially. Yes,
Man Ray is garbage.
Yeah, so I very highly doubt that they're ever going to make him. If they do, it's going to be like a joke because nobody seems to like him. But the Archie version of Man Ray is fantastic. And so
and he's in early. He is, if I'm not mistaken, he is in the first issue that is not them aping the animated series.
Right.
Like they literally come in like, hey, this is original Archie. Hope you like it. Ray Fillet.
Yep.
Like he's there. And he dates back to 1989, guys.
Yeah.
Like you got like in Archie, you got to go back to that. Like that is like OG, like Turtles cast guy. And of course he winds up becoming a member and frankly the de facto leader of the Mighty Mutanimals.
Yeah, arguably so.
And arguably. Like they don't ever name a leader in the Mighty Mutanimals, but like he's the closest thing to it.
Yeah.
And there's someone that
let me go back. There's actually two people standing next to him. Two characters, I should say. And this is Ryan's holding his mouth because we on the show, when we were reviewing the issues that this character shows up in, it was gut-wrenching to say the least. This character we're talking about is Blubla the Glublub. And this character,
rip, man.
Yeah. Like, just something happens to this character.
I'm going to tell you about this. I have never been so gutted. I mean, I'm emotionally gutted.
Like a fish.
By a little fish boy being shot underwater with an actual gun. I have never felt the pain. It's so good. It's so great. And now, is he a pack-along here?
He is. So he will be coming with...
God, that's so good. Oh my God, that is so good that he would pack him along. That is so smart.
And if I'm not mistaken,
oh my God,
he is his actual character in general was based on the toy of Ray Fillet, who had a pack-in character like they did with the Playmates figures. And I believe that's where the character was designed from.
He had a pack-in, but to my memory, if I remember correctly, the pack-in was like another sea friend. It wasn't like...
It looked very similar to him. Like... close enough to where it's if I'm not mistaken. So yeah.
No, I mean, in the fact that he was an aquatic pack-along buddy, but he was
Right.
not Bubba the Gublub. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
Like,
that's what I said was that he was in
Yeah.
So whichever one came first was influenced by the other. It was like somehow they were.
Yeah.
It was the same idea or a similar idea. So so he is coming with him, and then there's also this turtle down at the bottom, and I've seen this turtle. I just can't place this turtle, and I didn't have time to look it up as much as I wanted to.
Oh no, no, he's no. I'm not gonna on page 13.
Right.
But I believe so the whole thing about the plot line in Archie that gets Kid Terra, who is this kind of like gun for hire, kind of character that works for Ferris, like guy in the comic,
Right.
The storyline that gets Kid Terra and Man Ray and Bubba all together, involves these sea turtles.
That's what it was.
That are being maligned, like they're being caught in nets, and there's like toxic waste on the floor. I think the whole thing is that he goes there to save these sea turtles. When he gets down to the ocean floor, Man Ray discovers that there's all this toxic waste on the floor, and that Bubba and his people, the Glublub, are getting like wrecked.
Right.
And and they actually show like that their people are ill and dying. Like it's an ongoing crisis. And that this pisses your boy Man Ray off to a degree. Like
he looks like this.
That he can't. Yes, like that. Honestly, to that level.
Yeah.
Where he has to like wreak unholy vengeance, and the turtles aren't comfortable with it.
Right.
Like, the people around him are like, "Bro, that's some murder shit," and he's like, "Well, you know what I'm saying."
Yeah.
So I think the sea turtle is a
callback to that.
Is a nod to that whole storyline, which is
absolutely fantastic.
So good. Really fast on chat. We've got M. Wilson says that I'm wearing a Ray Fillet. Basically, I'm wearing a hat for him.
That's true.
And that's true. And then Noah says that I'm a straight up Man Ray's fan.
There you go.
Proves it.
The hat proves it.
The hat proves it. But yeah, I like the inking style, like the black lining on all the little his scales on the chest and on the arms. Like, come on,
it's fantastic. Yeah, this is just so good.
It's really good.
Yeah. So then we move on to two other characters from the Mighty Mutanimals, and that is Jaguar and Dreadmon. And this is the first time that these characters have ever seen figure form, if I'm not mistaken. And this is wild because
can I do it for Jaguar real fast?
You can do it for Jaguar. Let's do it.
For Chico Mendes!
Yeah. There you go. That's an old school callback to all the Turtle Soup fans that have been watching or listening when we were covering that. Did that get you? That took it out of you? Oh man.
I mean,
you gave it to
my
Chico.
all into that.
You did.
No, it was that one was for Chico Mendes.
Exactly.
Me too. You know what I'm saying? I went in for Chico Mendes.
Well, I'm definitely going to be going in for these figures because these look fantastic. Now these are early prototypes still. So they're a little rough, but they still look great. Like what's there is fantastic. They're going to be a 2-pack. I think he said they're going to be the third and fourth released figures from the Archie wave or line. And so let's see. Jaguar is going to come with 2 different heads, a campfire accessory, speared fish, and a bowl of rotten fruit. Dreadmon is going to come with something like some other accessories, peeled bananas, and then he's going to have a feature that's similar to the Muckman that they released that has the eyes that slot out for different expressions, which is something a lot of import figures like anime figures and stuff from like Figma and stuff, they can do that. And I believe the disguised turtles can also do that, if I'm not mistaken.
Awesome.
But you can mix and
match. So that is one thing
expressions.
that chat brings up. That came up in the Facebook group as well. And by the way, if you haven't been on there, Turtle Soup Show Facebook group. You know what I'm saying? This is where we share this stuff first, and everybody gets in on it. We don't share it. Our awesome listeners share it.
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
M says, "I still love that they look surprised to be figures."
Oh yeah,
and that is a thing that happened.
Yeah.
Oh man, Francisco says, "Mi madre." You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Like, I mean, he's
Dang.
striking the deep chords. They do look surprised. They're like, what? Whoa! Like, it's almost like it's almost like they found actual like Jaguar and Dreadmon, and, like in the jungle, like fighting for Chico Mendes, and they were like, "We're gonna make you into action figures, man. By the way, it's 2022."
Right?
And
yeah, and they're like, "What?"
And then they take a picture, and then they run away, and they're like, "No, wait, Mon, come back!" And he's like chasing them, like, "No, that was a bad angle."
Right.
And I don't mean to say that they look bad.
No.
They look very surprised. This is also just one flat picture, just one flat angle on these guys. I do like that the eyes can change out, or that things can happen to change the expression, especially with Dreadmon. Because Dreadmon and Jaguar both, I think part of the things I love so much about them in the comics is that when the Turtles first meet them, they are menacing as hell.
Yeah.
They are drawn and illustrated as like, oh, you guys found another villain. Like, you guys found another, like, thing that's going to fight you.
Right.
Then they get to the humanity behind them, and they're like, oh, wow, okay. And they want to be in, like, really goofy, fun, really, really loyal characters.
Right.
Mutanimals.
Yeah. Yeah, so good. Mutanimals. Yeah, it's the thing about Archie Comics is that, at least for us back in the day, if you saw something Adventures anything that had a property that was, like related to it, you like X-Men Adventures or whatever, you were like, oh, this is just going to be some drivel that's just to make money. And Archie started off that way, but then by issue 5, they're like, nope, here's this roller coaster ride that's probably some of the best Turtle stories you're ever going to read. And they continue, Ryan. We don't have any more images, but they tease that they're probably going to be releasing the wrestling suits for the Turtles, and especially Raphael in his black costume, which is fantastic. Yeah, can't wait for that. Now, they joked about Cudley. Now, Cudley is probably my favorite TMNT character of all time. If you don't know who Cudley is, he's they are a disembodied cow head that is transdimensional and that puts characters in its mouth and then can carry them across space and time and all this stuff. He's
exactly
fantastic character, and just I loved it so much. I still do.
He's amazing.
So they joked about him, Ryan, and they teased that they obviously know about him. They mentioned possibly making him a carrying case for the figures. So I could very easily see NECA putting out the Stump and Sticks Intergalactic Wrestling Federation like set with either the 4 turtles in their wrestling gear or like Crying Hound or one of the other characters like that. And
not Crying Hound.
I know, right? I know.
Oh God,
I know. And so, but the other thing they joked about is that they were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if you made it to where you could mount Cudley on the wall? Like, like an animal head, like you would if you hunted or whatever. And I'm like, that is fantastic. Take all my money now. Here's the fry. Take my money. Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you this. If they made Cudley's head, the size of like an actual like deer like head that you would put on the wall, and they made it wall mountable, that is going to cause more divorces in this country than almost anything.
Oh, absolutely.
I am imagining the level of pure on like toy collector spouse going like, yeah, and I'm thinking right there, and the other spouse going, never.
Yeah, no.
And just like the line being drawn
that's
right
it. That's
there.
it. The disembodied cow head.
You better have yourself. You know what? I don't even want to call it a man cave because everybody could be a nerd. If you got yourself a nerd cave, maybe like you could do that. But I tell you right now, like that's gonna cause some trouble.
It is. It's definitely gonna cause some serious conversations. You're gonna have to pick your battles with that one. But I am so excited about that.